Alrighty, so another day. We head out for the Arnold in 1 week now. Actually, yeah, 1 week from today. So we got the start list, the official list, yesterday. Yesterday night. Last night. Another word to say that. We have roughly 20 athletes competing this year, 3 of which are my gals. So we got them spaced out pretty evenly. Sorry about that. Got them spaced out pretty evenly, so I think one Friday morning, one Saturday morning, one Saturday late afternoon. No overlap at all, so we don't have to try to deal with other people on other platforms and like spacing ourselves out to get all of our athletes covered. We have that for some of our other athletes, but at least for my 3 girls, don't have to worry about spreading anyone too thin. So we can have, I'm pretty sure our only 2 on Saturday are my 2. So we can have all hands on deck for those to get them as many of our resources as we can, set them up for success as best as we can, which is awesome. So, talking about competition. Competition is the biggest training hack that personal trainers don't want you to know about. If we want to get clickbaity as fucking hell. Competition is one of the best ways to get progress, like, without even any real thought behind your programming. Like, throw it back to fucking high school, whenever you first started lifting, whether it just be like bodybuilding or actual like real training. I say real training, like Olympic weightlifting, like barbell, actual like sport training. Just having a partner there to push you when you just got started, like hell, you may not know what you're doing and you're just doing like 10 sets of lateral raise just until you're fucking can't lift your arms anymore. But having that competition there, having that camaraderie there, pushed you and got you progress when if we like sat down and analyzed the program you were doing with a fine-tooth comb, it could have been like absolutely terrible. Like, oh, this is way too much, way too little. Like, what the fuck were you even doing? Why are you maxing out lateral raise for 10 sets for like 1 RMs? But that competition, that rivalry you're brewing in there, that is going to get you progress regardless of what the program looks like. So I posted this probably a month and a half ago at this point. I was training midday at work, so it was around lunchtime, so there were some other people in the gym. I was maxing out my power clean and push press. My best push press before that day, I think, was 105, 100. I think 100 for a triple, 105 for a single. And right next to me, there was this group of 3 guys in their Olympic weightlifting shoes, so like trying to be Olympic weightlifters. They were doing some squats at 90 kilos and then some clean deadlifts, it looks like, at 110. So, I am a little mentally unwell due to a very large variety of factors. Very, very large variety of factors. But my mental unwellness causes me to create competition in my head that isn't there. So, this group of 3 guys next to me had no idea this was happening, but I was competing with them, and I needed to swing my dick around and assert my dominance in the gym when no one else cared about me, no one else was paying attention. So again, this was purely made up in my mind. But because I saw the 3 guys there trying to Olympic weightlift, I say trying because again, like I'm still in that competition mindset even as I speak about it later. Trying Olympic weightlift, deadlifting 110. I'm like, all right, fuck it. Like, I need to assert my dominance here. Like, fuck these guys because I'm creating that competition in my head. I'm like, all right, I'm going to power clean and push press their deadlift that they're struggling with. Ended up doing 125 that day. So, about a 20 kilo PR on my push press, which I also did that beltless. 105 was with a belt and probably some knee sleeves. This was purely naked, no gear on. And yeah, I did fucking 125. 120 moved easy, loaded up 125, and that was a little hard. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I'm happy with the 125 fucking push press. Damn. a hell of a lot more than I've jerked in quite some time. They even attempted to jerk in quite some time. It was not the fact that I had the proper training for. I hadn't done a push press or a power clean in at least 2 months prior to that, so I hadn't been training at all. Like, I'd been training my overhead press. Like, I'd gotten stronger overall, but I hadn't trained that movement, the technique of that movement. It was purely, I had created this mental scenario in my head where it was do or fucking die, that I was going against these people and I needed to prove myself. I needed to show who I was, swing my dick around, assert my dominance to every single person in that gym. So, whether you are as mentally ill as I am and you create competitions with random people to help push you to your limits, competition will do just that. Again, whether you are mentally ill or not. Competition breeds more success overall. Like, if we look at capitalism, that's the entire goal. Whether you agree with capitalism or not, like, it works pretty well here in the United States. Like, we're pretty well off. Like, even our poor are wealthy compared to the poor of other nations. So, like, it's not perfect by any stretch of the fucking imagination. You can ask my debt that. But it's not doing too... It could be a lot worse. And that's because of the competition. Competition breeds innovation. It breeds creating new things and progress. The more we can create competition in training, the more you can create that environment of competition, whether it be remote, whether it be in person, the more progress you're going to get, because you're going to get more out of people. When you are alone in your gym, or you have a remote team, so you train at a gym, you don't really talk to anyone, it becomes a lot harder to put yourself in that mindset to actually push your limits. Like, unless you got a lot of fucking demons, or again, you're as mentally ill, if not more than I am, which I'm sorry if that is the case. I truly am sorry that that's happened to you, because that's not good if you're more mentally ill than I am. I say that sort of jokingly. Unless you can really, like, dig fucking deep into your demons every single day, every single training session, it's going to be hard to get the most out of you. And if you can't get the most out of you, well, it's going to take longer to progress. Like, I kind of take that back. I don't really... You're going to progress either way. But if we can get more competition, and if we can get more out of the athlete, we're going to help them progress more over the longer term. Because if we can increase... If, say, 2% progression is what we're at, if we can get you to 4%, hey, you're going to be lifting more at the end of the year. That's how I'd prefer to say that. That competition, breeding an environment where we can have more competition between athletes, we're going to be able to push more to that 4% progression rather than that 2% progression every year. So now the key is, how do we create that competition? The big question is, how the hell do we create that competition in a remote environment? It's obviously pretty fucking easy in person. Like, you're at the gym, you're all doing the same training, or at least you all have a similar snatch day. It's your same clean day. It's your same total day. Like, you're doing at least similar movements. Y'all start talking shit, and then boom, there's your competition. You're fucking some shit up, and you get like your OG Cal Strength videos right there, where they're just fucking sending it, talking shit, lifting some heavy ass weights, and having a good fucking time. How do we get that in the remote environment? It's really fucking difficult. It is really fucking difficult. Like, the remote environment, because of the world today, is a giant blessing. Like, I have a job because of the remote environment. It's my yearly my tax return is thankful for that, because I get some money back this year, because technically I run a sole proprietorship for that. But it is not easy. So how we can breed competition in a remote environment? First and foremost, we need to build relationships. You're not just going to go, again, unless you're like me, you're not going to go and just talk shit with random people out of nowhere. You're not just going to build competition with random people who you don't know. Some people will. Most people will not. So first and foremost, shit talking and getting that competition is going to come out of relationship. Like, you're going to feel comfortable telling them that they fucking suck if you're friends with them. Like, if you know you don't actually mean it, and you know you're coming from a place of love. So first and foremost, in our remote environments, we need to actually build a team. Olympic weightlifting is an individual sport at its core. But beyond that, every single person needs a support system. And if you have a team, your team is your support system. So we need to first and foremost, pressure in my ear popping. First and foremost, we need to build teams. We need to build relationships. From there, we need to have some general things the same. So we have individual programs, but we do need some similarities throughout everyone's program so that we can foster that environment. So whether it be like some of our plyos that we start out with, it's like, hey, who can do the highest shin hop box jump today? Who can just fucking send it? Who is going to be the alpha today? Whether it be some people are doing similar snatch variations where everyone is doing an EMOM snatch on this day, or just a total day. Who can get the heaviest total day? Some sort of commonality across programs. So again, like clearly there is going to be quite a few differences in individual programs, but every coach has some sort of template. Like you're not writing a brand new program, like starting from scratch with your principles, brand new principles for every person. Every coach has a template. Every coach has some place they start from. So from that starting point, there are already going to be commonalities because a coach, again, just they write what they know, and what they know, then they build that over time. So we need to have a relationship, and we need some commonalities across programs. And then really it just fucking come back to like we need to foster a safe environment where people, like throw this back to the other day, people feel safe failing, people feel safe talking to each other, just communication. We need teams. We need to, as best as we can, build this individual sport into a team environment. Build the team environment into the individual sport. So one way I do that personally is we have a Slack channel. So Slack, kind of like Discord, it's just basically a giant fucking group chat with different channels in there. We have questions of the day. We have general chats. We shout each other out. We send videos. I send videos of myself if I just want to get a conversation going. I send these videos to my athletes like, hey, you specifically, watch this. Like that failure video last week. I send that to a few specific people like, hey, this was spoken to you. Like I'm speaking to you in this video. Watch this. So really, like, this video has devolved from competition because, like, it's pretty clear. Like, we need to be competitive. We need to build some competition, too. We need to build environments where people feel safe. We need to build fucking friendships. Like, that is one of the awesome things about weightlifting is, like, going to the Arnold. I think this will be my 7th or 8th national meet that I'm coaching at. I see a lot of the same people. I see a lot of the athletes that I know. I see all my athletes see each other people that they know. We see all of our team. We go to team dinners. We try to hang out as much as we fucking can. I am lucky enough that even though I'm a remote coach, I have most of my athletes live in the Southeast. Of that, about like 30% of my athletes live in North Carolina or live within 4 hours of me. So I can go drive and see them whenever. Having little training camps, just doing as much as we can to make this individual team, the individual sport, feel like a team sport. I came into this video with such a clear talk wanting this to be about competition breeding success, and this really turned into just kind of like a giant ramble fest where I don't really know if I got across a clear message in this one. That's okay, because this is just a one take rant. So that was my rant, is have some fucking competition. Talk some shit. Breed some fucking like, hey, you fucking suck. I'm gonna outlift you. Build that up in your head. Build that up out loud. Do whatever the fuck you need. Just get some competition and get a fucking team. And if you don't have a team, or if your team doesn't really have like a team environment, like, hey, we all live for X team, but like, I don't know who these people fucking are. I talk to them once a year when I see them at a national meet. Like, there is no connection between us. Like, may not be the place you want to be. Not talking down on any clubs, but it's a team for a reason. So, hope you got something from this. This was definitely not my most coherent video. Probably my least coherent video that I've done so far. I think this is video number 24, and this was definitely the most all over the place. So I hope this was helpful in some regards. So foster a team environment, foster some competition, And with just those two factors, you will see a lot of progress regardless of what your program has. Like, throw it back to Cal Strength again. Like, Cal Strength just does straight linear periodization. Like, they just increase week after week, do more load, do more weight, do less volume, increase, increase, increase. So like, it works. I do linear periodization all the fucking time. But it's not like the most like, oh, I'm sitting down for 2 hours writing out like this exact like scheme of how we're going to progress. Like, it's not that at all. It's just, hey, do a little more, lift a little bit less, or lift a little bit more, do a little bit less. And just with the pure competition and the pure environment that they had, they built some fucking wild ass weightlifters, men and women. So we need more of that. We need more competition. We just need more team environment. We need more relationships. And now we're going to get very existential here if we start talking about just like the world itself needs more relationships. And we're not going to go down that road because we're 16 minutes in. So that is it. Go fucking compete with yourself. Go compete with others. Go compete with your team. And go build relationships with other people and your team as well.